all the things I do for you as viewers and listeners of this show here at Browns Roundtable. Spencer Sherman with you, Anthony Moeglin. I'm standing here outside in the snow
Make
because
sure you
I'm
can
a
get all the way
dedicated
back there to pat
individual.
yourself. Make sure you can get all the way back there. Keep a pat on the back.
No hat or anything because I didn't want to screw up my hair. So here we
It
are.
does
But
look
happy
good
to
for everybody.
be here pregame, talking about Browns Titans with you. And listen, like I understand it's a matchup between two teams that have a combined 4 wins, but I actually think there's some intriguing storylines in this one. We're going to get to those. Just a reminder: head on over to brownsroundtable.com. You can check out any of our written content over there, including our live game thread during the game. We'll have going for you in the community section. Join our site if you haven't done so already, and of course, make sure you follow along. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed, where many of you might be watching this right now, so you can get more content like this and obviously post-game press conferences and all that good stuff. But yeah, Megs, listen, like, there's a couple other ancillary storylines I want to get to, but obviously the big part of this game today is Shedeur versus Cam, and the fact that we somehow got to this point in the season. They are starting, they are playing against each other, and it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like today, the duel between those two, especially understanding what the weather sort of has in store today. Snow falling, as you can probably see. It's going to be cold. These are two guys, Shedeur played in Colorado, so he's maybe used to the cold a little bit more. Obviously, Cam Ward played in Washington State, where I'm sure it got cold at times. But obviously, spent his last year in Miami. So, how that impacts the game plan and how these two quarterbacks sort of play today, I think will be interesting to monitor.
Yeah, no doubt. And also, like, they're facing two totally different defenses. Cam Ward's going to be up against one of the best defenses in all of the NFL, while Shedeur's not going to be facing one of the best defenses in all of the NFL. So there's a lot to consider, I guess, when it comes to both of those. But it'll be fun. Two young stars of this league, two young kids who are trying to make their way with a ton of potential and a ton of excitement surrounding them. And huge, potentially major cornerstone pieces for both franchises. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt. And listen, it's a game between two bad teams, but I'm already envisioning on Monday there's going to be conversations, no matter which quarterback wins, dissecting like, oh, he did better than this guy. Why didn't he go higher in the draft if it's Shedeur? And oh, Cam Ward proved that he's the better of the quarterbacks if he plays better than Shedeur. So it'll be a topic of conversation whether we like it or not. But certainly at least adds a little intrigue to a game. A week 14 game between two teams that are obviously playing right now more for draft picks than anything else.
And Jerm, we talked about it on Friday, on our weekly show. Don't discredit what happened last night in Indianapolis. Like, Fernando Mendoza played very well, and both teams, the Browns are certainly going to be in the conversation. Do the Titans find themselves back in the conversation of like, hey, maybe that, whatever it is, but like that's another layer of it where the potential next top pick in the NFL draft played pretty well last night for Indiana. So it's like, how does that all factor into the conversation? We'll see how it plays out after this one today. But a fun storyline for a game that means nothing other than that.
Yeah, well, and the draft part of this, I think, is the other big one, right? Like the idea that you have a Browns team that is, if they win today, they get to 4 wins. They're probably right now slated to be in the back half of that top 10 rather than the front half. And a Titans team that's right now going to be the number 1 overall pick for a second straight year, but might not need a quarterback. And what that looks like, it could set the stage, Megs, for these two teams. Yes, they're meeting on the field today, but for these two teams to be pretty engaged with each other this offseason as well, and potential trade talks to move up the board if the Browns decide we got to go get our franchise quarterback. If it is somebody like Fernando Mendoza, who played last night, obviously, for in the Big Ten championship game and got a win. So that stuff all sort of like is lingering like a cloud over the stadium today. Maybe that's what's dropping the snow here today. The idea that that's kind of down the pike here, waiting on the horizon for this Browns team as they sort of figure out what they're going to do, what their quarterback plans are in the future.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be part of the conversation. It's going to be fun, man. Like, let's see. Oh, I thought we got a good comment there, but we did not. But yeah, it's a.
Is it like a bad? Is it like an inappropriate comment? Is it like?
No, just it's
okay.
It's just a Shedeur situation. No, it's it's all levels. It's part of the conversation, man. It's today's going to be a big one. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
No doubt about it. Speaking of the future at quarterback here in Cleveland, there has been a lot said this week about a particular quarterback who returned to practice this week. The elephant in the room, if you will, Deshaun Watson practicing for the first time this season, coming off that Achilles tear, and trying to sort of work himself back into potentially returning to the field at some point. We'll see. But the tentacles of this are that everybody and their mother is saying he's going to be back next year. He's going to be here next year. And while I see that could certainly be true, like I could see a path towards him being back next year, and it makes sense financially. They don't want to kick that. They don't want to have that money kick in that they're going to sort of accelerate to the cap if they bring him, if they cut him. So I could see why that becomes a possibility. But what's also sort of been said about this situation is that, like, oh, he'll have a chance to compete, which I get. He's here. Why not? But at the same time, man, like, I'm just thinking about Browns fans. And people are saying, oh, it's a bridge quarterback situation next year. To me, that sort of screams, well, that means this regime's probably back too, if they're willing to sort of stand by Deshaun. Because to me, like, if another regime comes in, I think all bets are off. Like, they might just eat that money and say, whatever. We don't care. It's not our problem. Like, we'll worry about that later. Maybe not, but I kind of feel that way. So this kind of all these reports kind of tell me everyone's going to be back. Deshaun's going to be back. He's going to have a chance to compete. And I'm just envisioning another year where they're using the phrase bridge quarterback. And Deshaun is the bridge quarterback to whatever they're going to do in 2027. And I'm like, are they really going to put fans through another season of just uncompetitive nonsense where they're telling you, oh, it's all about 2027. We'll find our guy that year? That seems crazy to me, because apathy around this team the last couple of years is obviously at an all time high. I find that interesting. It's an interesting conversation that's going to be ongoing, but we'll see what kind of comes of that.
Well, no, and part of it too, Jerm. You look around the league and you look at the two teams who, the number one team in the NFC and the number one team in the AFC, were both in the cellar last year. And obviously you got to strike on your quarterback, but it's the Bears and it's the New England Patriots, who both got new coaching staffs, who both turned it around immediately. And it's like, hey, at some point, when do we stop planning for the future and gathering all these picks and doing all that stuff just to lose football games? Like, at some point, it's got to become about winning. And especially when you look at this defense and all the things that go into it every week when we talk about it, like, at some point it's got to become about winning football games. And if it were me, dude, I know you and I've talked about it offline, is like, just cut ties and like let's end this so we can move forward. But if they string it out further, the whole bridge quarterback thing is a tough. That was a tough report to see and read, because it was like, just to your point, like, we can't do this again. We can't do another year of a bridge quarterback. Like, if it's Shedeur, go with Shedeur. If it's whomever, go with whomever. But this needs to become about winning and not about, finding the next quarterback that we've not been able to find for the last 30 years.
Yeah, I just have so many questions about how that all plays out, how fans take it. Like, I mean, and I will say most of this reporting's kind of said, like, it's more about getting Deshaun a chance to audition to figure out what he's doing from here. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to try to salvage anything with that trade. So that's the good news. But, like, just another year of Deshaun being out there and trying to sell fans on, hey, he's our guy for this year, and we're going to sort of bridge this gap. It's I don't know, man. Like, I know people love this team and they try to sort of, through thick and thin, stand by it. But this current state they're in, they've given the fans a lot of reasons to just kind of like check out, and that's a scary thing sometimes, especially when you're trying to build a new stadium. So I think if he's going to have to be here because financially he's going to have to be here, that's one thing. But to maybe trot him out as like a bridge quarterback is another. I don't know how that goes over. It doesn't seem like it's going to go over very well if it's actually how it plays out. But that's a down the line thing that we're going to find out, I guess, what their intentions are.
It simply can't. It can't happen. Like, today's going to be one of those days where, like, they come in on the TV of the TV broadcast, and there's going to be like 20 people in the stadium, because, like, this is one that's just going to be a nasty, ugly one. Obviously, the weather is going to factor in. The two bad football teams are going to factor in. Germ's fumbling the phone over on his head. Germ, we got two coaches in the chat today. Is Gruden in the building? Was one question, and the other question was Bill Cowher spotted in Strongsville looking at houses. That's a very good one.
I think this. Can we just be honest about the Cowher thing? I think the Cowher ship has sailed. How long? Like, Bill Cowher's been out of coaching for so long at this point. Like, is he really coming back now? And I guess I get on some level, like, Gruden. I don't know. I think the Gruden ship has largely sailed too. I don't know that anyone's going back to him. But I appreciate the the retread options that are out there and some of these guys that people like to throw out, but I don't know if that's happening. So, but today certainly could have implications on whether or not this regime stays. It's a big one in that regard. Can't lose to this Titans team. I think the Browns have a really good shot at winning. We're going to give you our predictions here in a second. Injuries could be a factor today as well. No Jack Conklin, no Wyatt Teller, we know for the Browns. Defensive line dealing with some injuries. Mason Graham has a rib issue. He said he will play, though. I saw people try to report that on Saturday as if it was like breaking news after he told us on Friday he was going to play. Also, Mike Hall popped up with a knee issue that has him questionable, so we'll see what his status is. And then you also you have Isaiah McGuire dealing with a knee from last game as well. So that's kind of a daunting thing because this Browns defensive line has been so good. But there's always Myles Garrett to think about, and today very well could be a day where he gets that sack record. So we'll see what that looks like. Megs, I'll let you have the floor here first. What is your prediction for Browns and Titans today?
I think it's going to be a fun one for Browns fans. This is going to be one where, like I kind of hinted at it earlier, Cam Ward's got a really tough task today. He's been bad the past couple weeks, and their offense doesn't bring much to the table. And on the flip side, the Browns defense is that good, regardless of the injuries that they're going to experience. Their secondary is playing at a really good level. They're a challenging team to throw against. They're a challenging team to run against. And obviously, when you're dropping back against Myles Garrett, that makes it really, really tough. So I think Cam Ward's going to struggle today. And then on the flip side of things, I think Shedeur looks a little bit better, right? Like last week in his second start, the big knock on him was he was just a little trigger shy. Like he looked like he wanted to pull it and then just pull it back. He missed a couple of easy
and he
throws.
admitted that, by the way.
Yeah, and because I know whoever this guy in here is gonna start saying some stuff about me for saying that, but he admitted it, and I think today's a good day for him to all right, let's take the training wheels off a little bit and let's just play with a little bit less fear. And just let that thing fly and trust yourself. So I think that's going to be the step we see Shedeur take today. I think he's going to play better. I don't think he's going to light it up because of all the factors. Like, look at you. It's snowing. It's cold. It's going to be a tough day to play offense. But I think he looks better, and I think the Browns offense looks a little bit better. I got Browns 24, Titans 10. Cleveland pulls away and has a nice, easy win here this afternoon that fans can be happy about, at least a little happy about.
Yeah, I think the ground games are going to be important today for both teams with the weather being what it is, but I still think Shedeur has a chance to play better than Cam because this defense is the best defense Cam Ward's seen. And, man, they're going to give him some fits, I think. And that's the thing I keep going back to. I'm going to say the same thing I said Jets week, and it obviously didn't work out, but I don't know how the Browns lose this game when you have the elite unit of the two and that defense is so good. And this Titans offense is so bad. So, to me, that's where the game's going to be won and lost. Obviously, some of the offensive line injuries are concerning for the Browns because Jeffrey Simmons is a hell of a defensive tackle in his own right. He can cause some problems for a team. But I still think in the end, the Browns are able to do enough. I'm not saying their offense is going to light it up today because I don't think we ever can plan on that happening with this team.
Light it up is relative.
Yeah, it's relative to the Browns. They're graded on a curve in that regard.
Yeah.
But I think 24 points is a good sort of place to sort of land here. I'm with you on the scoring 24. I think the Titans actually score less. I'm saying 24-6 Browns win. I will say, though, like that Jets game, Titans have a really good kick and punt returner. Watch out for that guy because that could be the thing that flips the game if they do lose this one is a big special teams play or a big turnover or something like that. So, Megs, we obviously like to do a bold prediction as well. Mine's easy. I think Myles breaks the record today.
There you go.
I think Myles breaks the record today.
I like that. I like that a lot. Mine's a little bit different and will be much harder. I think Jerry Jeudy has over 100 yards receiving today and a touchdown. I think that's my bold prediction. He goes from arguing with Shedeur Sanders on the sideline to hugging him on the sideline. Hugging him. They're boys again. Hey, we're friends again.
I like that. All right, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us for this pregame combo. We'll be back post-game. Undetermined if I'll be on the field or up in the press box. We'll see. But we'll obviously react to whatever happens on the field behind us. Make sure you follow along with that game thread over at brownsroundtable.com and check out any of our written content there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. We'll have post-game press conferences and our live show for you over there as well. Enjoy the game. Make sure you keep on following along with all things Cleveland Browns, the Browns Roundtable.